Why do people disobey Allah and go astray? According to the Quran, there are three main reasons. Self-worship. The first is love of one's own desires. And who is more astray than he who follows his own likes and dislikes without any guidance from Allah? Surely Allah guides not the wrongdoers. Al-Qasas 28:50. Thus, more than anything, it is man's own wishes and desires which lead him astray. For the one who becomes a slave to his own desires can never become a true slave of Allah. He will always have only one consideration before him. What will bring him more worldly profit? What will bring him fame and honor? What will give him pleasure and gratification? And what will provide him with comfort and ease? He will therefore do whatever is necessary to achieve his ends, irrespective of whether Allah has forbidden the kind of thing he is doing. And he will never do anything which will not help achieve these ends, even though Allah may have ordered him to do so. The God of such a person is his own self, nafs, or his own desire, his like and dislike, hawa, and not Allah. How then can he benefit from Allah's guidance, asks the Quran. Have you seen him who makes his own desire his God? Will you be a guardian over them? Or do you think that most of them hear or use their reason? Nay, they are but as the cattle. Nay, but they are further astray from the way. Al-Furqan 25:43. To be a slave of one's desires is worse than being a beast of the field. No animal will overstep the limits set by Allah. Every animal eats what has been fixed by Allah for it. It performs only those functions which are allotted to it. But such an animal is man that when he allows his desires to take over, he commits acts as would make Satan himself shudder. Society and culture. The second reason for going astray is following blindly the customs and practices, beliefs and notions, rites and ceremonies of society, and regarding them as superior to Allah's guidance. Such a person, when reminded of Allah's commandments, insists that he should follow only what society approves and continue the traditions of his family or country. How can one who is suffering from such a disease be a servant of Allah? His gods are society, family, and nation. What right has he to claim that he is a Muslim? The Quran warns him thus, and when it is said to them, "Follow what Allah has sent down," they say, "No, we will follow only what we found our fathers doing." What? Even if their fathers did not use their reason at all, nor were guided. Al-Baqarah 2:1-70. And further, and when it is said to them, "Come now unto what God has sent down and unto the messenger," they say, "Enough for us is what we found our fathers doing." What? Even if their fathers had no knowledge and no guidance? O believers, you are responsible for your own souls. Those who are astray can do you no harm if you are rightly guided. Unto God shall you all return, and then he will tell you what you were doing. Al-Ma'idah 5:104. In every age, the people who refuse to follow the truth have been suffering from this disease. Always it has prevented them from accepting the guidance brought by the messengers of Allah. When Musa invited people to submit to God's law, they said, "Have you come to us to turn us from what we found our fathers practicing?" Yunus 10:79. When Ibrahim tried to dissuade his fellow citizens from associating gods with Allah, they said, "We found our fathers worshipping them." Al-Anbiya 21:53. People have in all ages made this same excuse to every prophet. What you say is contrary to the practice of our forefathers, and therefore we cannot accept it. And even so we never sent a warner before you to any people but its men, who lived in the pursuit of pleasures, said, "We indeed found our fathers following a certain way, and it is their footsteps that we are following." He said, "What? Though I should bring you a better guidance than you found your fathers upon?" They said, "In what you are sent with, we disbelieve." So we inflicted our retribution upon them, and behold, how was the end of them that gave the lie to the truth? Zukhruf 43:23 is. Allah tells people that they can either follow their forefathers, their society and culture, or His commandments. They cannot do both. If you want to be Muslim, you must give up all things apart from Allah and obey what He has commanded. And when it is said to them, "Follow what Allah has sent down," they said, "No, but we will follow what we found our fathers doing." What? Even though Satan was inviting them unto the punishment of the blazing flame. And whosoever submits his will to Allah and is a doer of good, he indeed has taken hold of the most firm handle, and with Allah rests the outcome of all affairs. And whoso disbelieves, let not his belief grieve you. Unto us they shall return, and we shall tell them what they did. Luqman 31:21. Obedience to human beings. The third reason people go astray is by obeying other human beings instead of Allah. How does this happen? It occurs when we mistakenly believe that someone is a great thinker whose words must be true. We may think that this person controls our livelihood with the power to give or take as they wish. We may assume that they have authority over us, or imagine that they can ruin us with a curse or lead us to paradise if we obey them. We might also believe that we must follow the ways of certain nations because they are modern, advanced, or progressive. If we behave in any of these ways, we close the door to divine guidance. If you obey most of those on earth, they will lead you astray from the path of Allah. Al-An'am 6:116. We can only stay on the right path by having faith in one Allah and following His guidance alone. How can we find that path if we create multiple gods, sometimes obeying this one, sometimes that one? The three main causes of going astray are clear. 1. Self-worship, or the unrestrained pursuit of desires. 2. Social conformity, or blindly following the customs of society, family, or nation. 3. Servitude to human beings, particularly rulers, the wealthy, or false religious leaders. If you want to become true Muslims, you must first break free from these three powerful idols that claim to be your gods. With these idols in your heart, you cannot fully submit to God. Offering prayers several times a day, fasting publicly, or outwardly appearing to be Muslim might deceive others, and even yourself, but you cannot deceive Allah.